like people who don't know me would always think that I'm a super happy person and like always out and about and always in a good mood and always very loud and very open.
Okay.
And and they don't know shit, that like they don't know this other side of me. And maybe this is my my fear to like really put myself out there in the way that I'm not always strong and not always happy and not always, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yes, I do know what you mean. I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to, right? Now,
I don't know. I
come
don't know.
on.
I,
Well, I guess the problem is with a lot of people is that because people don't tell their stories, people think that they're the only ones going through these certain things where when in reality there's tons of people dealing with these same kinds of struggles, but because people don't communicate these things to one another because they feel like they're alone, then that's when that's the reason everyone else feels alone when it's actually something that is relatable to other people. Um,
right.
but the thing that I guess I would want to ask you is, do you think that having those people maintaining those people's perception of you is more important than creating a, a, a work of art? You know what I mean? Like creating a book or
Well,
like
I'm
telling.
creating that anyways, and I'm pretty sure or hope, no, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be at that point, that I'm gonna be at a different point at some point of my life. And I'm definitely gonna publish it at
Mhm.
some point.
Mhm.
Just like what's bothering me or what's freaking me out sometimes is that I'm waiting for that other point for like 20 years.
But the thing is like I think, yeah, I think this is part of the thing. If you say, "Oh, at some point," what, like really, what does that mean? It's like, are you interested in being proactive about it? Because obviously, if you put the momentum behind it, you could make something happen.
Yeah, but then obviously I'm not interested in that, right? Like or not, I don't know. I mean, I see all that and I hear all that and I understand all that, but then this isn't the first time that I talk about that to people or to someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then still didn't lead me to the point that I was like, I mean, I could get all excited in a moment like this and be
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I'm going to do it right now, but then we both know I'm not going to do it right.
I don't know that. I don't
Well, I
know.
know that.
What, but the question is, so then the question comes back to, like, of course, if you can find a whole bunch of reasons to like, is I don't know if they this is what they call like shifting the goalpost, like it's like, then if it's not about the people that don't, the people that kind of know you and maintaining that perception, and then like, so this isn't really the issue, then this is just a placeholder.
You know, I think that I'm like really, probably, even if I don't like to be that way, but I guess I'm like really perfectionist and competitive. Two things that I really don't like in people, but that's usually the thing with
Okay, and
people that,
how does that fit into
right?
it? How does that fit
Well,
into it?
I guess like I have that picture in mind, like ever since I was a little girl, I have that picture in mind that if I publish something, I want it to be huge. Like
Okay.
this is the thing. Like I
Mhm.
don't want to publish shit and then have like no reaction on it, like like have people find it okay. I want this bam.
Mhm. Okay, so then
And then I don't feel that like there's stuff that I've been working on over years, and I guess what I fear is that it like I know it's good because I I know I put a lot of emotion in there, and I know I got writing skills. So
mhm.
I know it's good,
Mhm.
but then I want it to be awesome.
But how do you know, like how do you know if it's going to be awesome or not?
I don't know. I don't know. But before I'm not super sure it's gonna be awesome. I'm probably not willing to share it.
Okay, so if I can, so now this is like what I would consider like a new placeholder.
Yeah, probably.
Like so now it's not that the people,
Well,
that
I'm trying to figure this out. I'm
well
trying to figure this out.
the okay, so there's two ways to look at things, right?
Okay.
I would say,
Yeah.
and I can speak from the experience of I remember back in the 90s when I started making music, like when I started like making music where it was going to be records and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Um there was a bunch of talented people running around Philly, a lot of people producing music, right? And I think the only difference, like I know some really, really talented people that said the same thing that you said. Oh well, I don't think it's just ready, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
then
get
and
that.
then and then they never put out anything,
I
right?
know. I
And
know.
but what I can say to this is I think my first record was pretty bad. Like pretty bad, right? I think the second record was a little bit better.
Hmm.
But then my third and fourth records are the ones that people remember. The one that wasn't good, no one, you could ask the person that knows my music the most, and they couldn't tell you what those two records were, right?
Right.
And everyone has this. Like you can try to make this big grandiose thing and then possibly end up not doing anything, or you could consider that, like, are you planning to write one book and that's it?
No. 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 I got
Well,
like several ones.
so
Right.
if you can see it as a body of work where you say, okay, this is where I was at this point in time when I wrote this, and this is what I this is where I am now, and this is where I'll be in the future. When they all look at your whole um all of your work, everyone can say, okay, like, this was this period, this was that, this was this, and they all have their merits, and I'm sure everything will mean something to someone, you know what I mean? But and it'll especially mean something to you, because not every if you think about every artist, not everything that they do is this masterpiece, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. I totally get that, and like I let that count for like other people easily. Like
mhm.
I like how like people would go to the museum and look at modern art and be like, well, I could do that. Like a
Yeah.
red square, I could do that.
Hmm.
But then you're like, yeah, but you didn't,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's the same thing. And
Yeah.
then I have that if I read like other people's books or blogs. Like there's this one guy I'm following on Instagram who does like kind of the thing that I'm working on with that Dixon Jones thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Modern Gentleman or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he just puts out quotes, like you know, just like sentences out of his book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He has that blog that he like has these quotes on that are taken from his book. So that's like really super simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he sounds like I see that like he has his like he get like I think he has his third book out now,
Mm-hmm.
all about relationship and dating whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all super simple, and I like catch myself reading that and be like, come on, like this is
Mm-hmm.
not smart, like everybody knows that that's not something. But then on the other hand I'm like, yeah, that's that easy, it's done,
It
right?
is. This is the thing. This is the part that I mean. The thing is like what you're telling me. I've heard this so many times. Like
Yeah.
I've heard this so many times, and I've been like I could count back from the '90s like how many times I tried to talk people out of this mindset because I mean clearly it's one
And
part.
did it ever work out? Did you ever talk anyone out of that mindset? Because this, like, if you're able to, you be very welcome to talk me out of it. But
Well, I mean,
till now, nobody did.
I've
And
tried to like help you as much as with it as much as I can, but like it's kind of more. It's it's something that like it would be great if you just were able to put yourself out there for yourself so that you can have, you know what I mean, like because it's more about you believing in yourself than anyone else, and also it's about understanding that even you could think that you have the greatest book in the world and it could still come out and not do well. And what happens after this? Nothing. No one dies. No one
maybe
gets.
I'm gonna die.
You're not gonna die. You're not. If you're anything, you're a survivor. Like you know what I mean. Like the the point being is it's like once you can understand that you do something and then you can go and do something else, and but as long as you just keep doing things, everything is fine. You know what I mean? Like but if you never like give yourself a chance to like I mean we know this whole thing just comes down to fear, right?
Right.
Like but it's like what are you like what is it that you're afraid of?
What I'm actually like, what is the real fear
Yeah, what
behind
is
all
the
this?
real huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Because I would
It could
say
be like 1,000 options.
but like what is the worst case scenario?